Hello my friend, today in this video I'm going to share with you a very interesting method where you can improve your watercolor much faster. And this is very proven method, and the process which I'm going to share with you is helping many people around the world, and I'm sure watching this video from right from the beginning to end will definitely help you and bring a lot of learning to you, right? So I'm taking a very imaginative, the composition. So there is a one bottle will be there and a couple of fruits. Let's take it a very simple example. So whenever you do watercolor, so you'll have to sketch, right? A lot of people say that no, I mean I don't need to do the sketch, but that's not the right approach. You'll have to sketch it, and how you should sketch. You should sketch exactly something like this in a very rough, so you'll have a better control on your looseness of your art, in your artwork. So even if you are making on a several line like this, that's completely fine. All you have to focus on this is the proportion. Okay, so the proportion has to be perfect. Now this bottle is something like it's a water bottle. There's a label in it, so and it has a dimension to it. Okay, now see how I'm just sketching this. Okay, this is the cap of that bottle. If you feel like no, I mean it's not a proportion, you can just sketch it several times. That's completely fine. Okay, as long as you feel like yeah, I mean there are certain things which you need to get it, etc. So that's a branding part. Okay, so this is the sketch. Now let's say you have fruits like we have here banana. So I'm just making a banana here, and this is how basically you should be practicing watercolor when you paint watercolor, especially if your intent is to paint the loose watercolor. This is how basically it helps you to paint. Okay, so when you do something like this, if you just sketch like this, so you'll feel like oh yeah, I mean there are several things which I really don't need to give more attention. It's just like you're saying the overall approach, the idea of having that fruit, like in this example the banana. Okay, and you're bringing just an impression of it. You're not detail out everything. Have you ever felt stuck with your watercolor progress? That's exactly why I have created my Patreon watercolor art community. Inside, you will find a step by step learning journey, carefully designed to accelerate your growth week by week. This is not a random content, it's a proven roadmap where you will always know what to focus on, how to practice, and how to apply each lesson to your own art. And that's the best part. You will be learning alongside a global community of artists, sharing your progresses, asking questions, and celebrating growth together. So, if you are serious about improving your watercolor skill, this is the fastest and most inspiring way forward. Join today and begin your structured journey to becoming the watercolor artist you have always wanted to be. Adding this two color, which is burnt sienna and ultramarine blue, and I'm just adding it here. Okay, so now when I'm just doing this, so it gives me the complete understanding of the where the light is coming from. Light is coming from this side, so we'll have a lot of light in this particular area. Okay, and this side will have a bit of just a rough thing, something like this. All right, so you have to do certain kind of work. It's a loose, it's a beautiful way to approach watercolor because there is a very less uh, you know your your way of thinking and thinking of creating something really beautiful and all that. You don't need to think all of that. You just leave it and just enjoy the process altogether. Okay. Now let's work on the bottle. So this is the plastic. It's kind of wrapped up the bottle. So I'm just doing something like this. Okay. Now see, there is a very less water. There's no water at all. I mean, the color, the pigment. Okay. Now this is the one, and we have this side. I'm just adding up here a bit. Okay. I want you to just focus on what exactly and how I'm just doing it here. Do you see any kind of a, fear or anxiety or fear of losing my artwork? No, it's not. A lot of people that say that, no, I mean, you're Nitin, your experience, you know the how to tackle that. But let me tell you that when I started watercolor long ago, I I was just doing it something like what we are talking about. It's full of fear. But when I was working with a full of fear, it never took me to paint anything. I was just always thinking to make things better, and I was always be thinking, like, if I'm losing this, then probably I'll lose my artwork. I'll lose my effort of doing all of that, and that mindset never allowed me to get free and do some loose artwork. Okay, so especially for the loose artwork, you need to be very much agile. Your agility has to be there in your brush. Okay, no matter you are using from fan brush or you're using some any other brush. Okay, but with this particular tutorial, I wanted to give this particular brush because this is also a great way to enjoy this medium with this brush. Okay, now I'm just using this ultra yellow color. So a lot of time I just forget my color. Okay, so that's completely fine. All right, so now see the variation of color here. Okay, now I have this banana and the color. If I want to have some contrast here, I can just take it directly from here, and the supply was too much. That's completely fine. Okay, so now you see how my how the approach is. Okay, did you say I want you to just see the approach, how I'm just trying to make myself free and enjoy the process of creating the art. That's the only thing I just want you to understand. Because if you'll just go and you are spending so much of time doing and thinking and spoiling your time of creating art because you are so obsessed with the end result, and you don't want to make any mistake, and that actually a big problem. All right, so this is the first layer, right? And uh, you need to let it dry. Let it dry. Do not work. You see here, there's a lot of marks, pencil. It's a messed up. Okay, but the important part here is we got the color, we got the overall composition, we got the overall the lighter pigments here wherever we need. Now, when we'll go for the second layer, we'll see how things are going. All right. Okay, now you see this is completely dried, and now we can go ahead with the second layer. And the second layer in watercolor is like it's a beautiful moment, right? So what I'm just doing here is I'm still using the same brush now, like what we have been using, and I'll start adding the wherever we feel it's important to have some some glazing or something like we wanted to have values wherever it's required. So that's exactly we'll be doing it here. But now this is the time we are just toning it down, the color and its pigment value, right? So now I'll just use it here, something like this. Now you see, like, I've just given a one drop of the color here, which basically it tells me that okay, the light is coming from here, and that's the reason we see here white, right? Now the other thing is I just took it out. Oh, so so something like this. Now what happens when you do something like this? So it actually creates the illusion that the light is coming from this side, and you have a lots of pigments which falls here into this, and you can just take all your you know your ability to paint these charming this um, the value which is required here. So sometimes you need a mid-tone values, and if the light is coming from here, so you'll be adding up more like those values, basically these mid-tones, which is a which is very important basically. Now we are just adding a bit of color here, so get its a real pleasure of watercolor. So always look for how you are basically applying those value into your artwork. That's exactly I'm just doing it here. Now let's go ahead and quickly I'm painting this particular side where we have this branding. I've just taken this color, which is ultramarine blue, and now here we go. Boom, dim. So this is what we need in watercolor. So like this is the shape which actually came here, and I will just tell you like why I have just done something like this. Okay, so now you see here it actually gives you a dimension. Okay, now I want to make this side also, so I'll add a bit of color here, ultramarine and burnt sienna together, and again it's a tonal value of this thing. So now I see here that's the water and it's a reflection which basically it comes here. So the moment I've just given here, and I see like there's a dimension, right? And we have just left this place as it is. But we need to work on this. We need to paint something here. But the important fact we need to understand here is when we practice, okay, and that's exactly why I'm just telling you this is the secret. This is the real secret of learning watercolor, and the secret is to just have freedom, give your wing, give a wing to yourself, and just be free and just do something like this, no matter which brush you are using. Okay, in this exam I'm just if you wanted to use in some other mob brush, that's completely fine, you can just do it, but do it with absolutely in a way that you are just saying like, okay, no matter even things are not going the way you want, but that's completely fine. Okay, so now the branding part will come here as well. So this branding, yeah. So now see here, this is the color, it came here as well. But now think just see here, when I applied it here, it's conflicting, right? You are not able to make out exactly if there is a which is more prominent, and the dimensions are actually vanishing, right? So when this get dry, and that's exactly the third layer is basically becoming more important for you at that point of time. So we'll allow this to dry, and then we'll work on further on that. Okay, now this is done. We'll wait and we'll see how things are actually coming up. Now we'll work on these banana. So I'm using the same color here, and this time I'm just adding a very little burnt sienna. Okay, so now we got this color, and now I'll apply it here, this one. So banana is something like this, right? So, and even if it is not, just explore yourself, just see, okay, if I'll do something like this, what happens? Okay, so those curiosity is your key. Okay, so like this, I mean this particular side we will just leave it something like this only. Okay, and now, okay, so this is it, and now we have this side of, so there is a dimension in banana also, right? So that's exactly we are just trying to bring in here. But whole point here is just don't get so much of overwhelmed with how things will be, right? How the shape will be and how things are. Obviously, you need to think about it, but just don't be so much of uh, I mean, I'm the reason I'm just telling you, because the people are I'm seeing a lot of beginners especially, they are struggling with basic things like thinking about how things are actually works. So instead of just thinking, just try, just enjoy the or not only the enjoy, but also just see what happens if you do certain thing. Okay, so that's important part. All right, so now here I'm just adding some bit of darker pigments here. Okay, and 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 sometimes it happens that your objects won't even look like okay, what exactly it is, but that's completely fine. Okay, you're working for yourself. You're trying to improve your watercolor artwork, and not to you know just someone's to get their validity, or to impress anyone that okay, I did something like this. So if you'll just start pleasing people, then I think that's not a good way to approach art. Okay, it's your individuality, it's your way of doing things, it's a way of learning. Whatever the way you want to do this certain thing, you can just do that. But approach is something you can always be looking for. What approach I should be I should be taking, or those things. So yeah, so now you see here, I'll just mop this extra. Oh yes. Okay, and now I'll add quite a bit more darker pigments here. Okay, something like this. So you'll have darker values here. Now, can you see that things are forming, right? We are just working on a so fast manner, and we are just getting within that 15 minutes. So we got this much. Okay. Now imagine that if you just keep doing something like this, so what will happen, right? So let it dry again. So we are completing this second layer, and we are just allowing this to get dry. And once this completely dry, we'll go for the third layer and we'll complete this artwork. Alright, so now it's dried, and now we are just completing this artwork. Now I've just taken this particular brush where we are just trying to give its final touches. So now this is on the cap. I'm just adding a bit of depth here. Okay, and the same thing here. We'll just use some bit of values here on this part as well. Okay, that is the on this side as well. Okay, and some bit of darker pigments here and there. All right, so when you do something like this, so what happens is, let me just take out this. Oh, that's the color. So when we do something like this, so we are just trying to make ourselves absolutely free. Basically, we are just allowing ourselves to just think. Don't think much of what will happen, but rather it's just like okay, I mean, I'm just doing it, and something I'm learning, and whatever it will happen, I'll be okay with that. Whatever the the end result I'll be getting, and I'll be happy with it. So that is the kind of approach you will see in this artwork. I mean, if you just do something certain kind of a work. Now we are just adding up some bit of darker pigments here on this. Remember, I was talking about the branding and bringing its dimension back. So that's exactly we are just talking about here. Okay, so here we have these all the branding, and that's exactly why we are just adding a more darker pigments here. Now we can just make a more dark color here. It's fine, and something like this. So now see, like these all the colors are becoming more prominent. It's becoming more signer. It's signing because we are working on a third layer, and when we apply the color, on top of it, on the glazing, just because of that glazing, that is, uh, it's actually creates the more vibrancy into the artwork. Okay, now never afraid of doing certain things, right? Never just hold yourself to do whatever you feel. I mean, if you believe that, no, I mean, I have to do certain things, because if I'll do something like this, it will help me to get some certain effect. And if you feel that, then do it. Don't just hold back yourself and just say, no, I don't want to do it because my artwork will not look good, right? Now see this, how things are actually coming out. Now we are just giving a bit of more darker pigments here to get its you know the shape, the exact shape, more like a believable shape for this banana. And there are several, it's a bunch of banana here, so we just get it here. So the moment I'm just adding up this patches here and there, so it starts telling its story. It starts telling that, oh yeah, I mean, this is the, I'm banana. Right? So right, so these are the edges is actually clarifying, and it's just telling you that, okay, this is banana. Okay, and there are several situations you'll come across that things are not going the way you want. That's completely fine. It happens in watercolor. I'm telling you several times, just telling all my students in Patreon that if things are not working out well, it's not coming the way you want, that's completely fine. Don't get disheartened. The only thing is, do not demotivate it. Do not demotivate yourself just because things are not going the way you want. Okay, it will not go. Right? You need to practice. You need to you need to just give your time, effort, sincerity doing something like this. If you're really passionate about it, things will definitely work. But talking about this process itself is very interesting. It will just you'll have a better time with with watercolor if you just start doing some certain kind of a work like this. Okay, all I'm just doing here is just trying to add more and more lighter and darker value here, so things will be more interesting and more enjoyable. Right? Now we'll add a bit of some some shape, not shape, it's a texture on these banana, like we see in banana how these texture are, to make it more like a more believable. Okay, so that's the thing. All right, so now I'll add the last layer of this thing, and we are pretty good. All right, so I think this is what we need. Okay, how much time it takes? It's hardly 15-20 minutes, not more than that. And if you just do something like this, you will, I'm telling you, you'll have a lots of good time with watercolor because it's a real lovely medium to work on. And I see a lot of people, they just leave that just saying that, okay, things are not going, this is very complex subject or complex medium to work with, to work on. So I think if you just work something like this, I'm telling you, I promise you, you will have a really good time and you will learn watercolor so quickly. And without that, there is no magic. See you next time. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you did, I'm inviting you to join my watercolor art community. This community where you want to be, because you will be meeting a similar mindset of people and the same values and the same vision what you have, and you will also have a very structured watercolor learning week by week. And it's not just about the watercolor, it's more about making a connection, making a real connection with a similar mindset of people. And I'm seeing a lot of people, they are improving, they are going from one level to another level. And this is how their progress is happening in this platform. So I'm inviting you to join this global watercolor art community, and I'm sure you're going to like it. And I'll see you next video very soon. You can watch this particular video for you, and if you wanted to be part of this Patreon watercolor art community, you can join this community clicking on this. Thank you so much and have a great day.